Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful story, a kind of parable that gets right to the heart of one of the biggest challenges we all face. So let's just jump right in with a question that I think hits home for a lot of us. You know that feeling when things might even be going pretty well, but there's still that nagging anxiety, that little hum of emptiness inside? What is that? Where does it come from? Well, an incredible parable from the scholar Said Nursi suggests the answer isn't in what's happening right now. Instead, it comes from two huge dark voids that are always looming in the back of our minds: the sorrows of everything that's already happened and the fear of everything that's yet to come. And just look at this. It kind of shows you why that is. Our conscious mind, the stuff we're actively thinking about, it's just the tiny tip of the iceberg. It's chugging along at maybe 40 bits of information a second. But underneath the surface, our subconscious is an absolute powerhouse, crunching 11 million bits a second. And that's where all those deep anxieties about yesterday and tomorrow really live and breathe. So here's the kicker. Our happiness in this very moment, it's not really about the moment itself. It's all about whether we've made peace with the ghosts of the past and the phantoms of the future. Until we can do that, being truly present is almost impossible. To really get this, the parable tells a powerful story. I want you to picture this. Imagine you're on a journey and you find yourself standing on a super narrow bridge high up between two mountains, and all around you, it is absolute pitch black darkness. You're on this bridge and you look over your right shoulder, that's the past. And what you see is just this massive, dark graveyard. Every memory, every person you ever loved, all of it, it feels like it's just been swallowed up by this huge empty void. Gone. Okay, so then you look to your left, towards the future. And what you see there is a swirling, chaotic abyss. It's just this storm of total uncertainty, filled with all your worst fears: sickness, loss, and eventually your own end. It's just terrifying because you can't see anything clearly. Now, in this terrifying darkness, stuck between these two giant voids, you have one and only one tool: a little pocket flashlight. And this flashlight, it represents our own mind, right? Our ego, that part of us that needs to figure everything out, to be in control, all on its own. So, naturally, you flick it on. You're hoping that its little beam will cut through all that gloom and show you the way forward. But does it actually help? Well, this is where things get really interesting, because the exact opposite happens. That weak little beam of light, it doesn't show you a safe path. All it does is catch these awful glimpses of what could go wrong. You see the shapes of dragons and lions and horrible monsters. The flashlight actually makes the darkness way more terrifying. And right then, you have this huge realization. The one tool you thought was there to help you, your own mind, your own ego trying to solve everything, it's actually the source of all your pain. Seeing just little scary pieces of the puzzle is so much worse than not seeing it all. So, in this moment of just complete and utter desperation, you do something radical. You surrender. You take that little flashlight, your own self-reliance, and you just smash it on the ground into a million pieces. And bam! The very instant that little personal light of yours goes out, a massive universal light just flicks on. It's like the sun just rose in a single second, and the entire world is flooded with light, showing you everything as it really is. And the reveals are just incredible. That terrifying bridge you thought you were on? Nope. It was never a bridge. It was a wide, safe, perfectly straight road cutting through a beautiful green valley. The fear was just an illusion created by your tiny flashlight. And the past, that giant tomb, it completely transforms. You see that your loved ones aren't gone at all. They're just in another beautiful, bright room, waiting for you, happy and at peace. And the future? That scary, chaotic abyss? Turns out it's actually a range of majestic mountains. And you can see that the road you're on leads right to them. And just beyond them, there's a huge feast, a celebration, being prepared just for you. And finally, those monsters, the dragons and lions you were so scared of, they're revealed to be gentle, helpful animals, like camels and sheep. They weren't there to hurt you. They were servants, there to help you on your journey. Okay. So let's just pause and break down what this whole story means. The darkness, that's a life lived without faith, where everything feels random and scary. The flashlight, that's our ego, trying to figure it all out by itself. And that big, universal light, that's the perspective you get from faith, this trust that there's a higher wisdom, a loving purpose behind everything. So the parable basically gives us a roadmap. Step one is just realizing that our little flashlight, our ego, is actually making things worse. Step two is making the choice to let it go, to break the flashlight. That could mean prayer, meditation, or just accepting you're not in control. And when you do that, you open the door to a much bigger perspective, one that completely reframes your reality and turns all that fear into a real, lasting peace. And this is the ultimate payoff. In this new, bigger light, the thing we are most afraid of, death, is no longer a scary end. It's just a doorway, a transition into something beautiful and eternal. So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. What if finding peace isn't about trying harder and harder to shine our own little light into the darkness? What if, instead, it's about having the courage to finally smash that flashlight and discover the brilliant, universal light that's been waiting to switch on for us the whole time? Thanks for joining me for this explainer.